Try to break the wing. Oh, we didn't get the wing. Man, he's probably gonna get some water or something. Woo! Okay. So far, so good. Oh, I was like, dude, right when I got the... Oh, he went back? What the hell? Wait, what the hell? As soon as I got the jab, I got hit with lightning, and then he comes through. He's not giving me a breather, though. I got carded. I'll count it as a card. Oh my god. Oh, it's too slow. I can't move. I can't move! Damn! He got me. I got stun locked from that. Oh, they're not. Dude, I can't go anywhere. I'm just being tossed around and I'm dead again. He just went crazy on this quest. I'm getting tossed around, being stunned left to right. I knew it. I was like, oh my god. I'm getting caught. Ooh. Okay, what got me, bro? What? I guess I really need to be behind him when he does that. We were doing so good and then we just lost that. Bro, dude, no way I'm getting bodied in this quest. No way I'm actually getting bodied in this quest, bro. No way. No way. I got stunned locked again. Dude. I can't believe I actually died. Wow, dude, that was nuts. But alright, how we doing on Arch Tempered Rey Dau? What is it, Arc or Arch, whatever it is? How we doing on that monster? Because I know this new tempered monster it has some hands. It has some hands, and some people, they're getting got. Some people are like, yo, I'm completely fine with it, or this is like way too easy. And I want to talk about that. Because I think this is an interesting topic, because this is an update that's going to show like what's to come for future difficult, like actual high difficulty monsters, right? I never seen Monster Hunter as like a Souls game. On my TikTok, please follow me on there, by the way, someone in my comment section, because I was talking about Monster Hunter, or I posted about Monster Hunter, and I kind of went into the comment section and saw that someone was describing Monster Hunter as a Souls game. And I kind of jumped in, you know, especially I've been playing the series for, I guess, a long time, says the guy who just played World. I mean, I went back to play GU, but World was technically like my first Monster Hunter game. It was my first exposure to the series. It was my first time ever hearing about this game called Monster Hunter. On the TikTok comment section, a lot of people were like, oh, should I get into Monster Hunter, blah blah. And I was like, of course, get into it. And then someone came in and said, yeah, you should play. If you're into Elden Ring and yada yada, or the Souls games, you should get into it. I was like, wait, what? Monster Hunter? Monster Hunter as a Souls game? Now, this is going to be a whole different discussion, but I consider the Souls games to be actually difficult. Because every single scenario of the Souls series, the Souls games, there's always an obstacle, like every segment of that game. There's always some sort of trial and error to it. compared to Monster Hunter, where I guess you could somewhat debate there is some trial and error in the older games, but if we're going to relatively newer games, or more so, let's say it's starting at GU, it's not as like super punishing compared to the Souls series. I mean, yes, they have their own traits, and I'm not saying that Monster Hunter is an easy game, right? Because of course the game already proved itself plenty of times that it can be difficult, and it can bring very, very hard hunts, boss fights, whatever you want to call them. But my point is that with the series, it is not known to be difficult in every single part of the game, which is why I initially loved Monster Hunter World. I just kept playing the game over and over and over again, just because of the many fun aspects that it brings, rather than me trying to constantly study how the game really is. But I think that's the beauty of this game, is that the game has such a high skill ceiling where, yeah, once you learn the game and keep knowing it much more, it becomes more rewarding and much more fun once you understand all these certain mechanics, which is completely fine, right? So difficulty, like, to me, was never necessarily an issue with the series, because I loved Rise and Sunbreak, and including this game. But what I notice about this game, and I kind of give Rise somewhat a pass of being easy, just because it's like a quote-unquote side game or a spin-off, and just because it was on the Nintendo Switch, it was like a quick game that they made just to also like have a Monster Hunter game on the Switch. So a lot of stuff is also streamlined, just because I personally believe it's because it's a portable game. I understand again why people compare Souls and Monster Hunter, but as someone who has actually played many of the titles, and if we include GU on there, right, as like a quote-unquote OG game, or I guess you say like, I guess GU is somewhat of a modern game, maybe potentially like a decade old, right? I know that sounds crazy, but you know, a lot of the stuff has transferred over, like the movesets and skills has transferred over to each of the modern Monster Hunter titles that we know today, to World, to Sunbreak, and here now in Wilds. I recently played GU on low rank and high rank and had no clue what gear to get, what type of armor to make, and what equipment to have. And to be honest, the same times and hunts I get on GU were the same amount of times, I've gotten, you know, World, Wilds, and even in Rise. So completely, like, the fact that I'm able to kind of go through like the quote-unquote OG game is quite, or I don't know, would you guys consider like GU an OG game? I guess it is, since it doesn't have like a lot of life quality stuff compared to the modern Monster Hunter games. But the fact that like me as a new player to the series is able to really overcome the OG compared to when I played the Souls series, where I actually do have a tough time or get annoyed time to time trying to play the game. I mean, that's how it was when I first played Demon Souls. I mean, potentially even Elden Ring, and even Shadow the Erdtree. You know, I was gonna have my moments of just having a hard time playing that game. Overall, I mean, I had fun playing, you know, the Souls series, and I do want to play more of it. I heard Sekiro is like really fun to play, but I just want to talk about more about the situation with Arch Tempered Rey Dau. I don't mind if Rey Dau isn't as difficult, but I felt like this fight particularly was really it was a fun fight, but it really pushes your limits as a hunter. Like, it actually punishes you. There's a lot of things to learn in that fight where I can see myself, excuse me, girl. Well, okay, she just wanted to see our chocobos. So I don't mind if Arch Tempered is quote unquote easy to some hunters. I could care less. I could care less if he was really a difficult monster to fight. I mean, that's the point of being a tempered monster. But here's like my argument on if monsters should be incredibly hard to fight. If we want crazy fights that are difficult, they should be saved for like the super bosses, such as like Fatalis from, you know, Whirl or Latrion and all that. I mean, Zoshia, I guess right now, I guess I would consider it as like a super boss or a super monster. I mean, it's an elder dragon, for crying out loud. These are monsters that, I'm just speaking from a solo hunter. I guess it's completely different if you're fighting as a group. And I think that's also another different topic on difficulty, tweaking the difficulty when you're playing as a group when fighting these tough monsters. But as a solo hunter, this is something I don't mind, because if I want to get the gear, it's going to take some time to get the whole set if these fights get incredibly hard each and every time. That's why I feel like this Arch Tempered Rey Dau is a good balance between where a newcomer could come in and have a tough time but can overcome the odds, while the veterans could actually be pushed to its limits, because there's a lot of things that you have to know in the fight in order to succeed. So again, Arch Tempered Rey Dau is actually not as bad. Maybe he could have been a little bit difficult, but again, for me, I think it's a fair way to showcase the difficulty and what's to come for future monsters, because I could already see. And also, the threat level was only on level 3, by the way. Let's go to that. Let's go to the handler and see the events, right? Because Gormagala, just tempered Gormagala on threat level 5? Come on. So if we go to event quest and go Silent Flash, look, only level 3. If you guys don't know the threat level, it's the pink stars that you see above the monster. That's a threat level. That's basically the difficulty for each monster. Every single monster has that, whether they are tempered or not. And I actually liked the system just because, again, this is actually a life quality thing. If you want to just fight, if you're just like a very casual hunter and you want Monster Hunter to actually be easy, yeah, go for the lower threat monsters. But if you want to actually go through the difficult monsters, they have it. This 4-star Gormagala is crazy. But yeah, it goes up to 5 stars, because look, Zoshi is 5 stars. I mean, this is not even tempered. I can only imagine like a Arch Tempered Zoshia. But this tempered Arkveld is a level 5 threat level. Absolutely crazy of a fight. Sometimes, time to time, yes, he will cart you, but incredibly fun fight. And what I love about these fights is that not only that they push the mechanics and they actually punish you on certain things if you do greed on certain attacks, but I also like how these fights are actually very cinematic. I noticed this a lot when I was fighting Arch Tempered Rey Dau. I noticed Monster Hunter in general, like this game particularly, has so much, like a lot of the fights, because World was actually, to me, World is known to have a very dynamic world. The world actually feels very, very alive compared to this game, in my opinion. Despite how very detailed this game actually is, the world actually feels very alive because you have all the monsters interacting. You have invasive monsters as well. There's a lot of factors in World that I like compared to Wilds, but what I like about Wilds, how cinematically you could get into these hunts and dynamically feel like you're in a movie. I really feel like I'm in a whole action movie with the monster, and it's incredible. So fighting, if you go to actually like one of my streams when I first fought this, a lot of the moments was so epic with Arch Tempered Rey Dau. I had a lot of great moments with Rey Dau, despite Rey Dau owning me. I had plenty of great fights. I think I'm very excited to see what's to come with like future monsters and what they're gonna come up with the Arch Tempered. Also, by the way, these monsters are quite fast compared to Rise and Sunbreak personally. Since, you know, I feel like the team from Monster Hunter is actually really trying to, they're at that phase in their development with the series, because for those who don't know, the OG Monster Hunter games, they were like slow-paced games. Everything was slow. You fighting was slow. You running was slow. Monsters also fought slow until I think maybe GU. That's when they kind of turned up, or maybe even Monster Hunter 4. That's when they started to really amp up the monsters with their speed. And then the games progressively just got faster when it came to the modern titles like World, Rise, especially Rise and Sunbreak. It pretty much became, although it doesn't have the same world, like the cool dynamic stuff like Wilds and World, that game is truly known for its dynamic anime action, which I really love. There's so many great moments in that game. The parkour aspect of of Sunbreak was amazing. It's one of my favorite Monster Hunter games. I'll never forget the moments that I had playing Rise of Sunbreak. Even though I didn't like how things were handled with Rise, with base game Rise, and you had to wait for the updates just to have the full game, and then sort of it happened with Sunbreak as well. Like, I feel like there are certain things that they could have added more, but again, overall the quality of the hunts and gameplay was really fun to play. So Wilds amps up these monsters much more with its speed and how fast they are with their attacks and combos that they throw at you. Like, because this Rey Dau has so much combos. I mean, a lot of the monsters have combos. I mean, this monster too, Tempered Zhu has is a problem. Is a problem to a longsword user like me, since it does so many stabs, jabs, combos to you, and I'm just a longsword user. I don't have a shield. And what I like about Wilds is, again, there's the whole difficulty scaling, but I actually like how there's mismatches with, I don't know if this was on purpose, because I think they did this also with the older titles, because I think with World and Rise and Sunbreak, you could just solo with one weapon the entire game and along with a DLC. But here with Wilds already, I find myself struggling with certain monsters if I'm not using a certain weapon, and I like that. And I like that a lot. Again, I don't know if it's on purpose, but I wish there was more emphasis on that so players could have more incentive to put more effort and learn the game more on their own. I mean, yes, you should still have the accessibility of using any weapon on any monster, but it's very obvious on what type of weapon is very effective on certain monsters. I mean, for example, with Gravios, right? It takes some time to cut up his like little armor he has, right? Because he's pure rock. So obviously, if you have a hammer, you're gonna have a better time fighting him. He's harder to fight in the older games for sure. In this game, I'm not gonna lie, he's a little bit of a pushover once you break that armor of his with any sort of weapon. But at least it has that factor, like, oh hey, if you use a hammer, you're actually gonna go through this monster easily. And I'm pretty sure, like with Lance against Zhu, you're gonna go through this monster easily because Tempered. Okay, so since I have enough hours in the game to know a lot about what this game has to offer and what sort of difficulties that they have, Tempered Gore Magala, out of all the Tempered monsters, is the most difficult monster. Sometimes, like, I wouldn't even want to fight him compared to Zoshia. Zoshia sometimes give me problems too. Let's not undermine Zoshia's strength. Zoshia could also catch me off guard. Zoshia is absolutely crazy as well, but Tempered Gore Magala is on that same level. And it's just so funny because I was beefing with this monster back in Sunbreak, and here we are again, round 2 in Wilds. But he is much harder to fight in this game compared to Sunbreak, just because of how gigantic this monster is, and his hitboxes are absolutely insane compared to what I faced in high rank GU and also in Sunbreak on master rank. So I'm just like, this is just only high rank Gore Magala. And on stream, if you look back at the VOD, I did like a test. I have a Lance build. I fought him with a Lance. Now, he still packed some damage to me. A lot of damage. But I was still able to live and didn't cart once. I mean, I didn't even cart once. Compared to when I had a longsword, I think I carted twice, or I maybe even failed the mission. I don't know. For sure, I cart a lot against Gore Magala with the longsword compared to using a Lance. And we need more of that. I like the mismatches. It gives me more time to learn the other weapons, gives me a chance to know the weapons, because I want to do that, than just sticking to one weapon all the time. And of course, like you guys are saying, but dude, just keep playing the game then if you want to try out the other weapons. Honestly, it is hard to grind and find a good build for each and every single weapon. It is tiring, because I might as well not use a weapon that's not as like optimized. The thing is, I don't even really go for like the super meta builds, but I do want my build to be optimized, and it is hard to have a decent optimization on each and every single weapon because of the grind. A lot of people also talk about how the grind makes this game easier. No, it doesn't. It does not matter. It makes the game have much more incentive for players to come back. I'm sorry if you disagree with me, but that is what I truly believe. I've been enjoying this game much more just because of that. I disliked how Rise and Sunbreak made you grind to the heavens just for one gem. And then you have to start all over again and grind forever just for one gem. I did not like that at all. So I'm glad that we're able to have more parts than usual just so we could get our sets easily. I don't mind about that. That's completely fine. Especially if it's a tough monster and you have to keep going over and over and over again. That's completely fine. I'm fine by that. So, personally to me, the future of Monster Hunter is with Wilds is looking bright. I mean, I never doubted the difficulty. I said this in my first impressions or my thoughts on Wilds is that I never really doubted the team on making the game difficult. They're known for making the game difficult. So, I mean, this is the same team that made Elatrion and Fatalis. Now, I wasn't there during that time where during the Iceborne days, the prime Iceborne days, where people were like, yo, nerf Fatalis, nerf Elatrion just because it's super difficult. I can't even beat the monster. Let's not repeat history. This is a great start. I like it. This is also a big skill check. Oh, there's fireworks as well here. There's a big skill check when facing the Arch Tempered monsters. Like, I could only imagine when we have a threat level 5, but I could only imagine too of fighting the other Apex monsters, because I assume that they're gonna add Arch Tempered variants to the Apex monsters. So yes, Gormagala, Uthduna, New Udra, who are the other ones again? And they're probably gonna even add like an Arch Tempered Zoshia, maybe. I don't know. Like, yeah, Arch Tempered Arkveld. I can't believe I forgot about Arkveld. Sorry, I can't think properly. Whatever variants that they even want to offer. So, yeah, like I think it's right now I'm very comfortable, and I like the direction where it's going to. I do wish though that a lot of content was already for base game, so we have some stuff to look forward to. Regardless, it is here, right? It took some time, and I'm looking forward to the other updates and whatever DLC expansion that they're planning. I don't want to share too much of like the stuff that I think they should approve on or yada yada. We're just here to talk about difficulty, and I think everything is completely fine. And I think a lot when people are saying like, oh, this is easier compared to World, the thing is with Arch Tempered monsters. Now again, I was not there when they first released Arch Tempered monsters. Again, I was MIA at that time, not playing Monster Hunter World as much. The thing is, in World, these Arch Tempered monsters they were Elder Dragons. These are normal monsters that we're fighting. Now, you could say that these monsters are on the same level as Elder Dragons. I'm not gonna like argue about that. But again, let's also go back to what I mentioned before, that this is a game that we're constantly grinding over and over again just to obtain the armor for. Like, I'm happy that this life quality change where we're not constantly grinding to the heavens just to get certain sets. Oh, that's beautiful. Is not as like crazy. I could personally care less about how hard these monsters are, but I really care about is obtaining the material, because especially when the loot drops are based off RNG, I hate that. Anything RNG related, it's to my head, there's a big negative factor to the game, because you're letting randomness determine your rewards and skill. I think RNG is only beneficial when there's nothing left to do for the game. Now, yes, you could say technically there's nothing left to do for the game, but again, the objective is to always constantly, if you're hunting the same monster over and over again and you're not obtaining this certain reward, and it's like, what is the point at this point? Sorry, I didn't mean to sound repetitive, but that is my take. I mean, and look at this armor set from the Arch Tempered Rey Dau. I like this. I mean, I'm not feeling the helmet, but this is pretty cool, especially with this is like my current set. I do want to share this with you guys. I don't know if I want to... This is not meta yet, and the defense is also horrible. I still need to work on this. I'm very sad, too, that the Sakura Festival is about to end very soon. I didn't know that. I wish it stayed a little bit longer, because, I mean, look how beautiful this place is. But I'm also excited what they also have in store for, like, future seasonal festivals and events that they got. I'm actually going to try Adrenaline Rush. Apparently, one of my boys told me that Adrenaline Rush is actually better to use than Counter-Strike for Longsword. Just because... Now, I don't know if counters actually work. Because it's funny. It's called Counter... The ability is called Counter-Strike. But it doesn't kick in when you do a counter. You have to actually be knocked back. You actually have to be hit by the monster in order for your buff to kick in. But with Adrenaline Rush, counters actually do count. Apparently, I don't know if he's actually right on that, but counters with the LS work with Adrenaline Rush, and you get like the free plus 10. So we're actually going to try that out. The counter attack jewel. So we're going to actually go fight Rey Dau. Now, I'm not warmed up. It's been a while. I've been actually on a little journey with Xbox, showcasing their games on Game Pass. So feel free to stop by the streams and check out like what they have for Game Pass. You know, it's been fun because, you know, I have the opportunity to play these different games on Xbox that I want to try. Now, since I have this Rey Dau set, oh yeah, by the way, you could actually have the voltage ability with the normal Rey Dau set. So you could still combine and still maintain the voltage with the normal Rey Dau set, which I had no idea of. I don't know why the frames are dropping like that. What is going on? So that's something cool to know, because I didn't know that when I initially played this. But I'm scared because I'm not as warmed up, and again, this guy is scary. See, look at that. Look up top. We already have all these buffs. Don't go anywhere. Oh yeah, Adrenaline Rush does kick in when you counter. Nice. See, that's free, man. Oh. I should actually focus. And then I have elemental absorption. Dude, see, this is what I mean. He just does not stop. Forgot. It's useful to have the flash pod. And he has a lot of AoE attacks as well. See, it's absolutely insane of a monster. Okay. So far, so good. See, look how, like, each of my swings, when I actually have that weakness exploit kicking in, it's like 100 per swing with everything else. Oh, I'll try to have a fancy counter. Oh, I jumped over that. Oh, I couldn't tank it. Let's get out of here. See, look how aggro this guy is. See, no opening too. Oh, I went to that. This is bad. Look, he has a whole combo with his beams. Alright, nice. Let me try to go for the tail. I can't get off his back. He has too much energy right now. Yeah, I can't get the tail. It's okay. You have to stick to this. Sheesh, that was close. I couldn't get that counter. I can't even see. Hopefully it hits him. Yes! Come on, Lady Power, come back. Yeah, it's fine. We do need like a little breather. These Arc Tempers, they're no joke. What I like about these fights is that, especially like to the newcomers, it really shows like this game is not a joke when they actually show its difficulty to you. These monsters are not a pushover. And oh my god, I didn't count. There we go. And you actually have to strategize like with your skills on what to fight, because you know with the Rey Dau set, you have you're resistant from Thunderblight. Oh, that didn't hit. Interesting. So Ice Slash doesn't count for Adrenaline Rush, but your Foresight Slash does count for Adrenaline Rush. I don't know why that's a thing. It should be for both. I guess they're nerfing Ice Slash. Oh, see, I got caught. I was scared if he was really gonna charge at me. Oh, I'm dead. Oh, the wasp saved me. See, that's cinema, bro. Cinema. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh, God. Dang, he just had to go back up top, huh? Yeah, see, I don't have momentum. Am I dead? I'm not. Oh, I might be. You see how close I get in these tough situations and almost get knocked out? Oh, let's go. What? Nope. I couldn't counter?
Get a load of these claws.
Yeah, the reason why I back up all the way, just because there's like a discharge, a little discharge attack right after he shoots his ultimate attack. I learned my lesson, not to greed as much. Because you will get punished for that, especially if you don't have any thunder resistance. Dang it, he was facing the wrong way. Again, I'm really curious how all the newcomers to the series felt when fighting this monster. I wonder if they really had a hard time fighting Arch Tempered Rey Dau, or if they already left the game. Because, you know, after a base game, you're kind of, like, to new players, you're kind of done. Even though the game is not necessarily done. Because when Rey Dau first dropped, a lot of the... I was searching for newcomers on the SOS. Oh my god, I'm about to die. Because like, when Rey Dau first dropped, this Rey Dau, I was looking at the SOS flares to see if anyone needed help, any newcomers. And a lot of them were, like, veteran hunters or experienced hunters of this game, because they were like level 300, 200, higher levels than me, and I put a good amount. Oh, are you kidding me? Dude, he doesn't stop. He doesn't stop. What? Oh my god. You see how much recovery you have to do right after one dodge? I didn't get my opening. Let's go. Woo! But as what I was saying, there was no newcomers on the day Arch Tempered Rey Dau dropped. So I'm pretty conflicted with the team's decision, and I understand why. Okay, I think the important thing is to understand why these developers and the creators make this decision. Oh look, an actual clue to collect on this sort of stuff, right? Because they made Wilds the way it is because of, like, they want to cater to newcomers and all that, but look what happened now. They kind of just left. And I'm kind of conflicted on that. Dude, see, 13 minutes. Fastest time I got on this event quest was 12. It's on stream, so feel free to check out that VOD if you want. I love this fight. I see no problems with it, and they could make it harder if they wanted to. I could listen, I could care less, but I think this is good what Wilds is doing, since I forgot to mention this earlier. They are at that phase of, like, really crafting well how fast these monsters move and compete with the utilities that you have as a hunter. Because a lot of people complain, like, oh, we have a lot of equipment and skills and all this other stuff that we have, and I feel like, okay, the only way to really do that is amp up the monsters. Because that was like a problem for me with Rise and Sunbreak. I feel like they didn't amp up the monsters enough where we should be jumping more, or we should be using our wire bug much more. So that was a a problem I had. You know, if we're gonna make these titles fast paced now in a way. And the thing is, you can still play the game slow pace, because these hunts don't punish you on time. They just tell you how long it takes for you to hunt. Sorry, I lost my train of thought, but the developers are showing that they're really mastering their craft for these monsters to really compete and be on level with the hunter, especially with this Arch Tempered. This was a fast-paced fight, and there's so many moments I could have carded. I could have died and be revived by my Palico. So there you go. I think this was a fair fight. I think the Palico. So here's the thing. Now that I played the game enough, the Palico saves you a lot, because he's the GOAT. He's the GOAT. I feel like they should have brought back the classes from what they had in previous games with the Palicos, whether they are a healer or whatever. For here, they default this Palico to be, I mean, I guess it's because of lore reasons. This is like an all-around Palico, so he's able to do like a jack of all trades. Like, he has the traps, he has the different types of heals, and then he has his own equipment. Like, he has his own drone that he's riding on, and he's shooting with it, shooting missiles and all that against the monster. I thought that was pretty cool. So I think the Palico, when on quest, they should potentially nerf the Palico, because I like having my Palico with me. It's always nice to have a Palico with you, right? I still think, I said this in my first thoughts video, is the lack of preparation for items and whatever, or even sets. There's no emphasis on that still. I feel like with Arch Tempered Rey Dau, they really make you want to really prep up and have certain armor sets against that monster. So I think these are good signs for generally the game, base game. Yeah, there's the lack of preparation for items, which made like the other Monster Hunter titles a little bit more difficult. Especially how the Palico, again, is not always healing you in the previous games. What else? What's another one that I could think of? I think that's it, because again, the difficulty is pretty fair. And I feel like overall, it's really based off your skill. Like, you're just generally a good hunter. Like I said, I've played GU not too long ago before Wilds dropped, and I was completely low rank and high rank quick as Wilds. So, I mean, sometimes in high rank, I was completing like 15 minutes, but you know, if I'm really on it in GU, I could get these high rank quests done in like 8 minutes or whatever. All right, y'all. Y'all have a good one. Peace. Feel free to drop a like and comment down below your opinions. Let's keep it civil in the comment section. I really appreciate it. Not a lot of people actually enjoyed what I had to say, because I saw the like and dislike ratio. I was actually pretty surprised, because the comment section was actually pretty civil for the most part, but in the like and dislike ratio was like complete opposite. Like, people didn't like what I said, and hey, I'm sorry for that, but I was just being honest as someone who enjoyed the series. I really do appreciate the discussions and conversations. I know one of you guys corrected me on the monsters, right? Because I complained how there seems like there's a lack of monsters, and the reason why I actually thought there was a lack of monsters, because it's pretty much the same number as World from base game World. We're only one monster off compared to base game World for Wilds, and I think the reason why I felt there wasn't enough monsters during low rank, the monsters really felt like pushovers. Like, they had great cutscenes and introductions, right? The fights were so short, and then I'm back to the story again, so it just felt dissatisfying to see. I like to see to me, the monsters are the main characters of these games. I want to see them in the spotlight. I want them to have enough time for them to really sink in on stage and really appeal to the player, because that's how it was for me in World. So I had like enough time to do all that and all that sort of stuff. I don't know why this guy just walked up to me and just started to stand right by me, but okay. I wonder if he took a photo. What the hell? The thing is, I guess that's up to debate, considering World was my first game and I was still learning like how the Monster Hunter series work and how these monsters work. So yes, it did take some time to like defeat the monsters. That's why I kind of want to like do a little run on base game World one of these days. We're just gonna celebrate Monster Hunter and try out base game World again and see how it is. I know we're truly not gonna have the vanilla version. We're gonna have like the Iceborne we're gonna have the Worldborn version, because Worldborn in base game vanilla world is so different compared to the one with the DLC attached to it. Anyway, guys, again, thank you so much for the love and support. I will push out these Monster Hunter videos soon. I do want to share the longsword stuff, but I want to give you guys like a good and proper one. So I'm still gonna test out what sets to use. So far, this is a decent set, but I probably want to try out something else. There's like maybe I could find a way with a Gore Magala set or something. I don't know. We'll see. But so far, this is like a decent set that I had against Rey Dau. At least with Arch Tempered Rey Dau. But alright, y'all. Y'all have a good one. Peace. Good night, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you're at. Happy hunting.